What if Sword Art Online became a survival MMO? I never play any video game based on an anime because I believe most of them are just a cash grab and more like an exploitation to the community. I understand that getting the intellectual properties and making the game will be extremely expensive, and gathering actual artists, not those industry standard one, under a same banner is pretty much impossible. And studio is just a logo. Publisher is just a machine. And I have the conclusion that anime will never become a AAA game. But what if I have the capitals, the best artists, the best programmers, the best studio I ever wished for, and the community asked me to make Sword Art Online into an actual game? Hear my proposal. I'm going to make Sword Art Online into a semi-realistic survival, looter, third-person shooter, melee art combat, magnetic parry system, sword art skill, aura system, floor boss siege system, map data system, dynamic questing, heir system, wipe system, floor-based rarity system, Aincrad morality system, PvP, PvE, MMORPG. That was a lot. If you already understand everything just from that, well, congratulations. But if you don't, let me explain. Let me remind you that Sword Art Online is just a generic VR MMORPG video game. Sadly, we have yet commercialized such technology, and it will be awesome to use nerf gear to experience the world of Aincrad, but what makes a Sword Art Online a Sword Art Online is the fact that the developers design if player HP come to 0, the avatar will be deleted, and player's brain that using the nerf gear will be cooked, or in other words, unalive in real life. Firstly, this video is not about the epic tale of Black Swordman beater Kirito collecting his harem. I don't care about that. Well, actually seeing cameos like Sachi-chan will be interesting. This video is about Sword Art Online VR MMORPG. So, the question is, how do we mimic the feeling of death? The feeling that failure will punish us. The feeling that it's not a game. It is a life or death situation. There is an attempt in gaming community, which is a Russian roulette game that you can play all the time until you lose, until you die in the roulette. Your account will never be able to access that game again. Player's death will be acknowledged in a form of a grave with their username that living player can browse. Should we make that way? Of course not. That will be interesting but not fun. So, what is our best attempt? Survival looter MMO. If I'm not wrong, this genre is being introduced by an Arma mod, which is DayZ. And these days we have Escape from Tarkov, Rust, The Cycle Frontier, Marauder, Lost Light, Hunt Showdown, Albion Online, G. Apex Legend, Fortnite, and many more. The basic idea of survival looter game is the idea that players have to survive and to loot the resource to progress the game. Remember, have to survive, because if you don't, you lose it all. If you never try any of this game, it is understandable because you are a coward, mentally weak, loser, quitter, and all of the terms that describe how you using game to escape and not to challenge yourself. Tarkov is a military simulation game that is so realistic you could say Tarkov is a post-war life simulation in Ukraine. You need information, skill, the will, and commitment to making any progress. You need to prepare yourself. You need to buy your gun, your equipment, your ammos, your supply, and then throw yourself into a raid. In this raid, you could eliminate a player, then take everything they have and gaining profit. But if you are the one who got eliminated by players, or maybe the NPC, you lose it all. You lose everything you bring into that raid. The problem why Tarkov is one of the hardest game ever is because there is a scenario where someone could shoot you from the bushes without you knowing, and the idea that you instantly delete it without a fight is frustrating. So, what if Tarkov, but there is no range weapon? Sword Art Online have throwing knife, kunai, chakram, but that's it. There is no bow. There is no bow. There is no gun. There is only melee weapon. You can ambush, you can retreat, you can fight with a reasonable time to kill and give you the actual joy of struggle. The Sword Art Online that I propose is the experience to fight, to love, and to hate living in Eintracht. The ultimate goal of Sword Art Online is to challenge the player to clear the game, which is conquering the entirety of 100 floors of the sky castles of Eintracht. And of course, suddenly make 100 floor with 100 variants of biomes in 5 to 10 year frame would be ridiculous. So we just focus on the starting floor first. Let me remind you, in the first floor there is the starting city. This starting city acts as a tutorial area and new player oasis. Outside of it, there's some town that act as safe zone and temporal economy zone from all the danger of Eintracht. The only way to progress to higher floor is to open the gate between floor that being guarded by the floor boss, that located in the tower-like dungeon. If we want to be loyal to the lore, when some players defeated floor boss, they will gain a very unique skill, item, or whatever. Every single player can use the portal teleport stuff thing to travel between floors without needing to fight the floor boss themselves. Imagine that you and your guild member take down the floor boss. Your name will be shown in the town hall. Become a name that NPC talking about in the whole server, or maybe immortalized as a statue near the tower-like dungeon. And don't forget, wipe system. Imagine the replayability. Well, those are my thinking, and ideally will be a nice ego boost to be the best in Aincrad. Because it is a semi-realistic survival MMO, items will have durability. Weapons could break, equipment might lose strength, food could spoil, potion could be poison. Actually, that will be pretty epic if that sounds awesome. Crystals might fail and everything will be gone eventually. Nothing stay forever, just like your characters. In Tarkov, there is this health system that divided by head, thorax, stomach, arms, and legs. If the character got damage in the head or thorax, it could be fatal and might instantly kill the characters. On the other hand, if stomach, arms or leg got damaged, you will not be killed, but still, it potentially triggers bleeding, cannot sprint, looting becomes slow, and many other interesting complexity because of this health system. Should we adopt such system? Maybe, but we simplified it. So yeah, being damaged in a specific part of the body could trigger interesting complexity to the game. Like being stabbed in the head might trigger temporal blindness. Being hurt in the leg make your sprint slow. Or if one of your arms being injured, you cannot effectively use two-handed weapon. Let me remind you, in Sword Art Online, there is a healing crystal that pretty much instantly heal your characters, and if this crystal is easy to get, you will end up something like Soulborn PvP. Yeah, Soulborn PvP is exciting. You convince me. In Albion Online, there is a healer class, but there is no such things as instant healing. There are abilities that could heal the characters like Bloodlust, but there is no way to instantly heal without healer. Just like Sword Art Online, potion in Albion Online is healing over time. I like that, because trying to survive while being chased will be the true struggle. So yes, the crystal will be very hard to get. Either expensive or maybe need cooldown after being used, that you need to actually using your brain and being tactical about your consumption. Also, in Albion Online, food that player consume is giving some buff, like extra damage, extra defense, extra yield, and many more. If Sword Art Online become a regional open world, hey, let's go to that dungeon. Oh yeah, sure. Let's hit that restaurant first and getting 30 minutes extra damage buff. Okay, let's do it. But of course, changing or adding buff in the middle of a raid will make sense. So you can eat the food later, but the buff will not be as good as what you eat in restaurant. Or it could be something like Monster Hunter meat cooking minigame, which is, if succeed, you will get a better buff, but still can't be as good as eat it in restaurant. But well, I never play any Monster Hunter, so I don't know about the details. As a survival MMO, it would be suck if you instantly die because of the depleted HP. So I will propose something like this. In a game called Rust, if you got defeated, you will not instantly die and then get respawn, those kind of things. In Rust, you will be in a state called knocked out. You only able to crawl and have your fate decided by the victor. In Rust, you could kill, you could revive, you could loot, you could trash talks, and many more kind of things to the knockout players. What about Sword Art Online though? Pretty much the same, but because there is Aincrad morality system, you could arrest an orange or red players into the jail. Not only that, because defeating a player is pretty hard, execution will be awesome. This will be epic. Well, those will be some tertiary stuff. Let's talk about the primary stuff. Aura system. Here's the thing. In Tarkov, you could have a level 10 player with overpowered gear versus a level 40 with starting gear, and the fight will not be even. Because the level 40 player will have a better endurance, better proficiency in a specific weapon, better stamina, better effectiveness in consumption of medication, and all those RPG elements that Tarkov has. So basically, not only Smurf is a problem for everybody, new low-level player is destined to be a stepping stone of the veterans, the Smurf, and anything else. And here's the thing, I gotta say that noobs are a foundation of a community, and Tarkov is not that welcoming. Then how does Escape from Tarkov work? Because it filters out the gigantic, mega, galactic first-person shooter shooting game community like Call of Duty, Apex Legends, PUBG, and many more. I can say that the best of the best player from every single first-person shooter gamer out there will have at least tried Tarkov. So I don't think Sword Art Online could pull that off because gamers don't really appreciate competitive third-person shooter, in my opinion. So how do we protect this weak new puppy that want to learn without being bullied by the strong or weak but experienced players? Aura systems. Tarkov put bunch of players in the same cage because this player queuing at the same time. So, no mercy. The unlucky new player just gonna be trampled because not enough player queuing in his bracket level or maybe miscalculated by the system. So yeah, matchmaking system stuff. So I propose the idea that a skilled Sword Art Online player will have the track of violence that will prove the superior value compared to the new players. What is the track of violence? It is a metric data that collect how long that player played in that wipe, how many mob or creature this player have eliminated in that wipe, how much player this player have killed, and many more metric to value how good this skilled player is. So, what happens if a new fresh new puppy players meet a skilled player? They will be invisibles or transparent. And basically a player with a high value in the track of violence will not be able to hurt the lesser valued player. Or I can say the aura is so strong it makes the weak kneel. The weak player will be the buff, become slow but nobody could hurt them. all they can do is leave the scene and then give away whatever resource in that site. By the way, what kind of value difference to pull this aura system off? Of course, it will be something that's severely different to the point that new player is just basically feed themselves to the superior player. I don't know if this is actually the first of its kind, but if it does, tadakimasu. Wow, that is so helpful to the new player. But what if the new player want to challenge themselves? Well, they could break free from the aura themselves. Let's say the new player want to try to beat the dungeon boss, but suddenly the skilled player ambush him. But because of the aura system, the bullying is being cancelled. Let's say the skilled player decide to finish the dungeon boss themselves, but they got heavily damaged. And then the new player decide to break free from the aura. This player might finish the boss and the skilled player all together. Yes, profit. And even if somehow this system is being exploited, it will not be long enough because of the track of violence. You know, the noob defeated the skilled player more than once. That's sus. So yeah, that is how I protect our sweet, cute new players. Heir system. So, in survival MMO, there's this incentive to have a stash. The idea of a stash is a room to keep extra weapon, equipment, supply, quest items, and many more. Let me remind you, in Sword Art Online, there is a housing and renting system. In the anime, the heroine bought a house in Selmberg for luxuries, I guess, I don't know. On the other hand, in Sword Art Online Progressive, which is a soft remake of the original, the protagonist rent the secret apartment with a bath in the town near the tower-like dungeon. So, I propose something like this. You would have an unlimited stash and a free room in the starting city. But if you want to changing your hunting ground, you have to rent a room or buy a house in the floor that you wanted. Not only it will become your hideout, it also hold your temporal stash, your spawn point, and maybe a place to hang out with your friends. If you have any. So, you have a house or a room for you to live. But because of the morality system in Aincrad, you could be in a jail. If we want to be loyal to the lore, having your character in jail make you incapable of using that characters for the time being. So I propose the heir system. You could have a multiple character under the same family name. The stash is same, but the skill and the equipment will stay within the jail. Let me remind you, in Sword Art Online, the protagonists have this footprint scanner scale that kinda obnoxious. Should everyone in the family have a same skill? I don't think so. Especially having multiple characters will encourage players to try different builds or maybe different choices in quests, like should you choose the high elf or maybe the dark elf. Third-person shooter melee combat. Why third-person shooter and not first-person shooter? Because first-person shooter melee combat is weird. It is true that first-person shooter could mimic realistic vision that humans have, but in reality, humans just need to rotate their eyeballs a bit and they will have 180 degrees of vision, and they do not need to recalibrate their head to where they're looking. If you don't get me, you don't need to. But here's the thing. Third-person shooter giving more visual information than the first-person shooter does. First-person shooter is good for long-range observation. But for a game without range combat, third-person shooter is better. There is a game called Century Age of the Ashes, where you become a wyvern rider. No, it is a dragon! Wyvern rider, where you control the movement of your wyvern horizontally or vertically, just like a plane. The interesting thing about this fast-paced game is a single button. A single button to instantly look behind and obtain the necessary information as you decide to run, to fight, or maybe to trap. The problem in third-person shooter competitive game is the ability to see the enemy behind a cover without showing your body. I don't know if it is a norm or not, but my solution to that is just to blur everything outside of the cover and creating a peeking mechanic if the player want to see the target clearer for identification or something like that. I kind of forget about looking behind system is actually kind of unfair. So we could make some visual cue if our target is actually looking behind its back. And also, maybe we need a button to instantly look left or look right as well. Let me remind you, in Sword Art Online, the first floor is not just an expanse horizontal exploration, but also verticals. So we gonna have fall damage. Should we have climbing mechanic? I don't know. I don't think it is a priority, but it is nice to have it. Just imagine climbing and being attacked by a flying mob. It would be nice to fight the mob mid-climb, right? Or maybe PvP mid-climb. Crazy. You can do those in third-person shooter. I don't know about first-person shooter though. Kinda awkward, no? What about jumping? Should we have double jump, triple jump, or something like that? Well, I do not like that. Maybe just a single jump will be enough, or you need a perk or skill for double, triple jump. And no, I'm not talking about mid-air jump, because fall damage will be fatal. I'm talking about redirectional jump, like hopping or something like that. And a skill to side wall running is cool as well, as long as you have the stamina and not overcumbered to perform it. Is there any other third-person shooter movement? Oh yeah, rolling. Soulborn game glorified rolling. I do not like it. And it's kinda suck for survival MMO. I mean, a single button to teleport few meters. That's kinda unfair. What if we make rolling complicated though? Like the input to do rolling is directional button first, then crouch button, and then jump button. And if you need to crouch, your input will be crouch button first and then movement input. And also to roll, you need to throw your bag so you can be light enough to actually roll. And yes, it is inspired from Tarkov mechanic. Wait, you know what? Let's go crazy. A vertical jump will be jump button and then directional button. If you press directional input and then jump, you will perform side jump or side step or whatever you call it. Just imagine the combat potential. But yes, if you think more about it, people will not have fun with it. Only the pro will like it. So the introduction of this complex mechanic will be at the new update floor 15 or something like that. Oh yeah, this Sword Art Online game that I propose will be a game that's gonna be relevant for 50 years into the future. So yes, first floor will be created for 3 to 7 year development or something like that. Like, you know, a legendary adaptation or something like that. So yeah, a gigantic project. Visual. For the visual, I propose something that not realistic, but also not too anime-ish. Something like the Resident Evil 4 art direction, the original one, but of course with colorful MMO vibe. Or maybe a level up but darker version of Sword Art Online Black Swordman Ace, which is a Genshin clone or something, I don't know. Or maybe something like Fire Emblem Three Houses. Or maybe like the New World aesthetic but with low polygon, because Japanese love low polygon. No, that's not the reason. Every single person on Earth can actually play it. Even using the old machine, or maybe freaking mobile. Nah, never mind. Mobile stuff is too much. For the UI, I love the original anime vibe, like the health bar that curve in the left side, blue as yes, red as no. The only thing I ask is just dark mode for the UI. Yeah, just that. Now that the presentation have been addressed, let's talk about the actual gameplay. Melee art combat. The romanticization of sword combat in gaming industry is pretty much overpopulated by fantasy genre. Because of that, majority of it is simplified to balance melee combat to magic and range combat. What about pure melee combat game? We have The Witcher, For Honor, Shifu, Absolver, Sleeping Dogs, Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima, and many more. I would love to have For Honor type of presentation, which is each attack is actually connected to the target. And it shows the weight of the swords. Not like those bizarre swinging into the air sword magic, you know. In For Honor, there is this epic duel system that represents as top, diagonal left, diagonal right, parry system. I do not understand. I never played myself, but I know there is complexity to it. I hope it is a fun complexity. I don't know. In case of Sword Art Online as a survival MMO, we might get into a situation where a player being surrounded by multiple players, or basically being ganked. So something like For Honor duel system will not be nice. So I propose something like this. Because the foundation of melee combat is stab, slash, and crush, left mouse button click will perform a slash attack. Holding left mouse button will perform a crush attack. And to perform a stab, you need to hold right mouse button to perform aim and parry. And then click left mouse button while aiming to perform a stab. Or in shooting games terminologies, aim down sight to stab, hip fire to slash, and hold hip fire to crush. By the way, I don't know why RuneScape call it crush attack, but I like it. And it is better than heavy attack, you know. Oh yeah, to cancel a stab, a slash, or a crush to, you know, fake attack the enemy, all you need to do is aim and parry or on guard button. Wait, does that mean I could use crush attack using a rapier? Yes, but your rapier durability metric will decrease fast and might break. Especially in the anime, there is a lot of instances of weapon breaking. So yeah, loyal to the lore. Yay! So, For Honor parry system is no good. What kind of parry system that would work? Sekiro. So, Sekiro parry system is kinda like 180-degree types of parry. Sorry, I never played the game. All I can do is watching streamer. But there is a posture system that basically will nullify all kind of attack by using parry. But it is limited to your posture bar. And what happens if your posture bar depleted? Your parry will break and you will become a naked sausage. This parry system also makes you incapable of running, jumping, consuming, and all you can do is parry. Unless you have a perk or skill to parry while running. Yeah, something like that. I mentioned about magnetic parry earlier, which is basically Sekiro parry system, but the difference is I want the flow. I want the idea that you could have a never-ending exchange of counter-attack between players, and it will become a battle of will. Not as complicated as triangle, for honor system. I propose something like holding right mouse button to aim and parry. As the enemy attack register to your parry, you could press left mouse button to cancel that attack, and by pressing left mouse button again, you will perform a counter attack with damage bonus or something. And if your opponent does the same, both of you will be in a grind to break each other posture. How about long reach weapon like spears fighting sword player? Stabbing using spear will be fast, but to gain control again, it will make delay and slow a bit. Sword could cancel spear stab, but because of the reach, sword cannot counterattack spear. Don't you think that stabbing is kinda unnecessary? Oh, really? Okay, how about this? There is instance in the anime that it is possible to be disarmed in VR MMORPG. As a legendary adaptation, stabbing player hand or arm while they in aim and parry or on guard potentially could disarm their weapon. Imagine the panic of being disarmed. Come on! Not only PvP, stabbing into a creature weak spot could destroy it faster. In a game called The Cycle Frontier, there is this hostile creature named Marauder. This thing is tanky, and I'm using the best budget rifle and it took me few seconds. What if I shoot Marauder on its weak spot? Even faster. Now, watch this. If you don't understand, let me explain. I don't know if it is intentional or the Cycle community found it themselves. Just by jumping, you can dodge its melee attack. And by focus fire into its mouth, you could cancel its swipe attack. Even make Marauder open its mouth again and defeat it super fast. So yeah, stabbing could lead into a fun complexity. I'm not talking about London, by the way. Just saying. By the way, should we incorporate attack with movement? You know, something like jumping up with an axe and then crush button will perform a devastating single target attack. Or maybe something like using side stab to move around and then slashing with sword will make you hard to be aimed at. Or maybe using crouch and then crush with halberd could make the enemy fall for some millisecond. Huh? I don't know. Will it be a fun complexity? Also, in Sword Art Online, there is this thing called Switch. Switch is basically changing the fighter in the middle of a fight. Let's say you play as a duo. One of your fighter will fight the target and the other one is behind. If they switch, they will changing role and would give a room to the injured player to heal themselves. If it is a creature mob, they will automatically be changing target, making duo have a better survivability compared to both of the duo in half HP stat. And in case of duo versus trio, fighting a trio, the ability to heal while in combat will give the duo higher survivability because the use of the switch method. Sword Art Skill System. Let me remind you, in Sword Art Online, sword skill is basically a charge up attack with neon visual cue that being aimed and then released to a target. There is a scene in Sword Art Online where the floor boss sword skill and the protagonist sword skill cancelling each other because of timing. And applying the same principle in player versus player or PvP would make it exciting. Whether it is a lunge attack, AoE attack, or multiple hit attack of sword skill, I propose sword skill require a delay before activation with clear visual and sound cue to inform the opponent that they gonna die. About the multiple hit sword skill like Starburst Stream, let me remind you that Starburst Stream is a 16 hit / combo sword skill. And of course it will be sucked to try to parry all of that. So I propose to make Starburst Stream, which is a really rare sword skill in Sword Art Online, more like a buffed up normal attack that you can do 16 times. But of course you can deactivate it earlier to gain faster cooldown or something. And based on types of weapon, sword skill could be used in a lot of situations. This is Albion Online. Albion weapon system are categorized as warrior, hunter, and mage. By skipping all of its range weapon, we have sword, axe, mace, hammer, war glove. I don't know if we should put this one. Spear, dagger, and quarterstaff. I'm just gonna do smash or pass, okay? Let's start with sword. Interesting. Maybe. Nope. A kick and follow up jump attack. Nope. Okay. Charge into a target. Nice. What the? Nah. Charge through the target. Interesting. Bomber sword. Yeah, something like that. Devil May Cry vibe, I guess, I don't know. Next is axe. Whatever. Maybe, but not 360. Maybe. Maybe not multiple spin, just once or something. That is not how you use a halberd. Ridiculous. That's good, actually. Now we're talking. Epic, but no, nah. Now we into the maze section. Maybe, but not that wide. Nope. AoE and roots the enemy. Inspiring. Better. Hell nah. What? That is a giant wand and not a mace. What is happening here? Hammer time. Okay. It doesn't make sense. Maybe. Nope. How? A charge that stuns. Interesting. Halloween. Cool, but nope. Wow. No. Next is War Glove. Okay. Interesting. A kick and then teleport. Nah. The dude just flying. What is this? Nope. Nah. Well, it is a MOBA basically, so yeah. Shinderu. Nani? No comment. Bizarre. I don't know what to say. Time to spear. Extra range. That's good. Good, but not that fast. Rugby? I don't know if Sword Art Online need the root debuff among players. I don't know. I nettor your wife. I don't know if we could, throw main weapon in Sword Art Online. I don't know. Throw and defense break. Epic, but nope. Rugby 2.0. Yeah, it is what it is. Now we talk about dagger. Armor break. I don't know if Sword Art Online need that. Interesting. Negate healing percentage. Interesting. Final Fantasy? I don't know. I don't know. So it is buffed up basic attack. Even the attack speed increase. Even it's still HP. Nope. not that waiting for sure. It's fine, yeah. Block enemy movement and single target. Interesting. Interesting. That's too wide. I'm not explaining this. Attack and jump back. Interesting. Lastly, we have quarterstaff. A combo. I see. Rolling and defense buff. Nope. Nice. No. No. Round and round and round, running round. A jump and AoE swipe. That's magic. That's just... Wow. No. Nah. As you can see, Sword Art Online sword skill need to be something that realistic as what a survival MMO meant to be, but also fantasy worthy to become sword scale. Just watch how the fight happened in the anime. Realistic, but also it is just a generic VR MMORPG with the focus of fun and the conveniences of a video game. We're done with movement mechanic, combat mechanic, gameplay and those kind of thing. Now we're gonna talk about tertiary complexity that will generate happiness. Wait, you actually watched more than 10 minutes? You are a rare specimen, I must say. If you have a better thing to do, like getting a new bag of chips, more boba, milk tea, or whatever your priority is, you better do that first. Because you can watch this video again in the future. And again, this is just an entertainment that is cool, in my opinion, but also, well, I need to find a way so that Japanese not gonna bombard me with copyright missiles. You can also think of this as an checkpoint for you to take some breather, cause you might misunderstood me because of your interpretation while being mentally tired. Especially this video is pretty heavy to conceptualize. In the meantime, you could like, dislike, comment, subscribe, share this video to any social media platform that you like. So we might actually gonna get a AAA anime games. Ooh, in the future. Ooh. Well, it's unlikely, but you know. Oh yeah, if you're interested to play Albion online, you could use my referral link, my referral link in the description down below, so I could get some silly mount skins and extra gold to have more fun in Albion online. East server, you know, the Asian server, because I don't play. I played the other server back in the day, but it's just not worth it anymore. Yeah, it will be really cool if you do so. Thank you. So, are you mentally prepared? If that's the case, here we go.